At a party, my girlfriend lost a game of truth or dare and had to call the person she regretted losing the most. She asked the person on the other end, if I were divorced right now, would you give me a home? The moment he said, I would, the entire room went silent. Everyone thought I would fly into a rage and flip the table. But to their surprise, I just calmly took the ring off my ring finger. We haven't gotten our marriage license yet. It's not too late, let's just break up then. I'll get out of the way. After saying that, I turned and left before my girlfriend could even speak. On my way out, I called my parents, who are all the way in Jingai. Mom, Dad, I agree to come home and get married. That's wonderful, Xiao Fan. You've finally come to your senses. You're the sole heir to the Zhang group. If you hadn't insisted on getting more experience on your own all these years, you would have already been married and taken over the family business. Your father and I picked someone out for you long ago. We were just waiting for you to say the word. Hearing how relieved my parents sounded, I felt a pang of guilt, and my tone softened without me realizing it. I'll go along with whatever you arrange. Great, the wedding is set for January 19th. So, when are you coming back? Do you want to meet your future bride ahead of time? I can arrange for you two to meet soon. My mom's eager voice just kept rambling on. It was starting to give me a headache. I couldn't care less who she is, and I couldn't muster any interest, so I cut my mother off. I want to come back to the Zhang family soon to help you two out. The marriage is just a means to an end. There's no need for us to meet. You guys just arrange the wedding. I'll be back the day before the wedding. The words had barely left my mouth when the door to the room was pushed open from the outside. Hearing the sound, I turned my head instinctively and saw Bai Ningbing walking in with a frown. Wedding? What wedding? Faced with Bai Ningbing's confused expression, I calmly hung up the phone and came up with a random excuse. A friend of mine is getting married, and he asked me to be his best man. Hearing that, the expression on Bai Ningbing's face finally relaxed. He didn't ask any more questions. I placed my phone on the table and turned to go into the bathroom. A moment later, the sound of running water started. The phone on the table started buzzing. Listening to the continuous notifications, I hesitated for a moment before unlocking the screen. A message from someone named Shen Haoyu popped up. Do you still remember what you said back then? You're not actually thinking of marrying Zhang Fan, are you? Reading that sentence made my heart sink. My hand froze for a second, then I gently scrolled up. Then, a message Bai Ningbing had sent over 10 minutes earlier came into view. Shen Haoyu, in 33 days it'll be your 28th birthday. Do you remember what you promised me back then? I put the phone back where it was, leaned back on the sofa, and my mind flooded with memories. The year I turned 18, my aunt came back to the country to get married. I came back with her and enrolled at Yen University, in order to enjoy my college life to the fullest. And for safety reasons as well, I never told anyone about my family background. At the freshman orientation party during my senior year, I had to help out a roommate. So I went on stage last minute to play an accompaniment. When the song was over, I walked off stage with my instrument. I looked down and saw Bai Ningbing. She was wearing a white, lacy dress. Holding a bouquet of flowers, she waited at the door, her eyes sparkling as she looked at me. Can I get your contact information? I'm a sucker for a pretty face. I agreed on the spot. After that, the two of us would talk every day. We'd also run into each other from time to time in all sorts of places. In the third month of knowing each other, Bai Ningbing took the initiative and confessed her feelings. It was the first bloom of love. Love at first sight. I had no reason not to agree. And just like that, the two of us got together, from the age of 21 all the way to 28. During those 7 years, my family kept pressuring me to go home for an arranged marriage. After I refused many times, I also tried to sound her out a few times about her thoughts. But whenever the word marriage came up, Bai Ningbing would shut down the conversation as if it were a venomous snake, refusing to mention it again. At first, I thought she just wasn't ready to get married, but after it happened so many times, I sensed that something was wrong. That is, until half a month ago, during a casual chat after drinks at a party. I heard the truth. It turns out the person in Bai Ningbing's heart has always been her childhood friend, Shen Haoyu. Unfortunately, her love for him was unrequited. Shen Haoyu only saw her as a friend, and the reason she approached me in the first place was simply because on the night we first met, Shen Haoyu had gotten together with someone else. And the way I looked playing the piano on stage bore a slight resemblance to the man in her heart. To console her own disappointment, and also despite Shen Haoyu, she chose me. In the years that followed, Shen Haoyu had dozens of on and off relationships. Every time she heard news of one of his breakups, Bai Ningbing would entertain the thought of going to him. But before she could say anything, Shen Haoyu would find someone new. This only deepened the sorrow in her heart. And so, 7 years went by, back and forth like this. We still haven't broken up. Bai Ningbing has never given up on waiting for Shen Haoyu to have a change of heart. She was waiting for a joke Shen Haoyu made while drunk when they were young. Bingbing, wait for me until I'm 28. If neither of us are married by then, how about we just make do with each other and give it a try? So, she would ask him once every year. And this year, she finally reached Shen Haoyu's 28th year. As I looked through the chat history on Bai Ningbing's phone, I laughed. In 33 days, it would be Shen Haoyu's 28th birthday. And it's also the day I've chosen for myself. To break up, go home, and get married. Seeing Bai Ningbing go into the study, I also got up, turned off the lights, and lay back down in bed. I don't know how much time passed before a set of extremely light footsteps echoed in the pitch-black room. A faintly glowing phone was placed on the nightstand, and a person lay down behind me. Then there was a long silence until I heard the faint, rhythmic sound of breathing beside me. I opened my eyes again, reached out my hand, and took Bai Ningbing's phone. Tapping back into the chat she was on, there were only 4 new words. I can't forget you. It's a very simple phrase, yet I can just imagine what it was like when she typed those words. What Bai Ningbing must have been like, probably biting her lip lightly. Her eyes glued to the screen, carefully typing out a long string of words, only to delete it again. Cautiously weighing every word, afraid her feelings would be discovered too easily. But also afraid her feelings wouldn't be noticed at all. This meticulous and cautious attitude only ever appeared when she was dealing with Shen Haoyu. As I thought about this, a bitter smile formed on my lips. Her mind was fixated on that promise about turning 28, wholeheartedly waiting for Shen Haoyu to agree to marry her. I lay with my eyes closed all night, but never fell asleep. After dawn, I heard a rustling sound beside me. I opened my eyes. Let's leave work early today. Bai Ningbing, who was rubbing lotion on his hands, looked over at me with a puzzled expression. Is something wrong? After a long silence, I finally spoke slowly. Today is your birthday. Did you forget? Bai Ningbing's body stiffened slightly, then he finally nodded. For the better part of the last month, Bai Ningbing's mind had been preoccupied. With the promise he made to Shen Haoyu for when he turned 28, he couldn't pay attention to anything else. Now, he'd even completely forgotten his own birthday. Thinking back on the past 2 months, and how I had painstakingly prepared a surprise, all for nothing, I felt a mix of complicated emotions. Bai Ningbing didn't notice the change in my expression and just told me to keep things simple. Didn't need to be as grand as before. In previous years, I would always go to great lengths to throw a birthday banquet for him, just to make him happy. But he never cared about my efforts, so when I heard him say that, my tone carried a hint of self-mockery. The banquet is already planned. Everyone has already agreed to come. It can't be cancelled. This birthday banquet was planned 3 months ago. Back then, I didn't know he had someone else in his heart. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have planned it. Hearing my explanation, Bai Ningbing didn't say anything for a long while. He just picked up his phone and left the bedroom. Right before he turned to leave, I caught a glimpse of his slightly furrowed brow. After I got to the company, I first went to the supervisor's office to submit my resignation. When I came out again, seeing the resignation letter in my hand, the office erupted. Xiao Fan, are you leaving? Why are you quitting so suddenly? Have you found a new job already? So decisive. Don't tell me you're going back to inherit a billion-dollar family fortune. Hearing everyone's concerned questions, I put down the things in my hand. I smiled gently. I'm getting married. My colleagues nodded in understanding. However, Qin Hao, who had always been close to me, came over and asked a couple of questions. Fan, did your boyfriend finally agree to marry you? How did he suddenly come to his senses? I couldn't be bothered to explain. I seized the opportunity to change the subject. Thank you all for taking care of me all these years. I'll treat everyone to dinner later. After work, I had dinner with 4 or 5 colleagues for 2 hours. By the time I rushed to the hotel, it was already 8 o'clock. I hurried to the door of the private room. Just as I was about to push it open, a conversation from inside made me stop. It's so cold outside. Who did Bingbing go to pick up? Who else? It has to be Shen Haoyu. I was close by just now. I heard everything. Shen Haoyu said he was coming back today, so he eagerly went to pick him up. For real? Then Bingbing must be overjoyed. It's his 28th birthday today. In just over a month, Shen Haoyu will also be 28. For him to come back at this time, could it be that he's really here to fulfill their promise? I heard Shen Haoyu is single again. Looks like it's very likely true. But if they really get together. What about Zhang Fan? We've been hiding this from him for so long. It's been 7 years, and he doesn't even know who Shen Haoyu is. He's still hopelessly devoted to Bingbing. What can you do? Bingbing is head over heels for Shen Haoyu. If Shen Haoyu agrees to be with her, he's 100% getting dumped. We can only blame his bad luck. Good thing he doesn't have much of a background. If they really break up, he'll be easy to get rid of. Although, he's been nothing but good to us and to Bingbing all these years. But we're Bingbing's best friends, so of course, we have to be on her side. When the time comes for the breakup, we shouldn't make things difficult for Bingbing. Let's give him a car or an apartment on her behalf. Just consider it a breakup fee. I listened quietly for a long time, not making a move. So, I had already decided to leave. I wasn't as sad as I was half a month ago. Instead, I found it a little funny that Bai Ningbing wanted to break up with me. And she's having her best friends get rid of me. What kind of relationship have I been in for the past 7 years? Too bad for them, this time I'll be the one to leave first. I stood outside the door. Just then, a few waiters came by, pushing a cart with drinks. I quickly stepped aside. The moment the door to the room opened, the discussion inside stopped abruptly, as if nothing had ever happened. I walked in with a smile on my face, greeting everyone. After a few moments of small talk, Bai Ningbing came in with an unfamiliar man. Pushing the door open once again, I looked at the figure who resembled me a little. I sized him up discreetly. Bai Ningbing led the man around the private room for a bit, finally stopping in front of me to make the introduction. This is a friend I grew up with, Shen Haoyu. Bai Ningbing hesitated for a moment, before continuing, and this is my normal friend, Zhang Fan. When she said this, Bai Ningbing was prepared for me to get angry. But things didn't go as she expected. I had no reaction. I just lifted my head, gave her a deep look, then pulled back and took 2 steps away. Keeping my distance from the two of them, a faint smile on my lips. It was exceptionally proper. Hello, Mr. Shen, I'm a normal friend of Bai Ningbing's. After the introductions were made, the room became lively again. Shen Haoyu had an outgoing personality. He could chat with anyone, carrying a glass of wine and making toasts from one end of the room to the other. He gathered a group of people to drink and play games. When things got exciting, his hands were full with cards and it was inconvenient, so he had someone feed him a few pieces of watermelon. Without a second thought, Bai Ningbing speared a piece with her own fork and fed it to him. Shen Haoyu didn't think much of it either, turning to the side to take a few bites. Then he picked up his glass and drank half of the red wine. I sat a few meters away, watching Bai Ningbing clutch that same glass, not letting go, and drinking from it glass after glass. And every time she drank, her lips touched the exact spot where Shen Haoyu's mouth had just been. By the end, she was already quite drunk. But the classic birthday routine couldn't be skipped. Everyone started singing the birthday song, while telling her to get up, blow out the candles, and make a wish. The noisy room instantly fell silent. I got up and personally pushed the cake over, placing the candles on it. Looking at the number 28 on the candles, Bai Ningbing rubbed her temples, as if trying to shake off the drunkenness. Her gaze was already a bit unfocused. She scanned the room, and then raised a single finger. For my birthday this year, I don't want to make a wish. Let me ask a question instead, he said mid-sentence. He pointed to Shen Haoyu, and that gaze, though not sober, was incredibly intense. It landed squarely on him. Haoyu, you're about to turn 28. I want to ask you a question. Do you have a girlfriend right now? As soon as these words were spoken, all the onlookers exchanged glances. Faced with prying eyes from all directions, Shen Haoyu was slightly taken aback. He answered that he didn't have one right now. After a brief silence, someone, it's unclear who, let out a surprised, "Wow," and the room instantly erupted. Few of her drunk best friends all stood up, pushing a drunk Bai Ningbing around as they started singing and dancing. Watching this chaotic scene before me, I sat perfectly still, not moving. I calmly and serenely played the role of an ordinary friend who was kept in the dark, completely unaware. The chaos continued until the early hours, and the birthday party finally ended. After everyone had left, I helped Bai Ningbing into the car. She was still immersed in her earlier joy and, lying in my arms, she spoke many truths from her heart. In a tearful voice, she said, "Shen Haoyu, don't go. Stay by my side, okay? Why can everyone else, but not me? I've waited for you for so many years. I wait for you every single day." The driver in the front seat heard everything and was snickering the entire way. Just as we were about to get out, he saw me supporting the drunk woman. He couldn't resist teasing, "Sir, your girlfriend really loves you." I gave the driver a slight smile, my tone indifferent. She does love Shen Haoyu very much. But I'm not Shen Haoyu. Waking up after a night of heavy drinking, Bai Ningbing remembered what had happened the night before. She grabbed me and started explaining, "A fan, yesterday, as soon as I got to the club. I was forced to drink a lot. I probably said a lot of nonsensical things. It was all just drunk talk. Don't take it to heart." I didn't expect her to remember what happened last night, nor did I expect that she would come up with such a lame excuse. I calmly and rationally played along with her act. Nodded slightly. "It's okay, I know. I don't know why, but looking at my calm, expressionless face, and thinking back to my reaction when I introduced her to Shen Haoyu yesterday, Bai Ningbing felt a strange sense of panic. After thinking it over and over, she felt that something wasn't quite right and quickly changed the subject. Yesterday, I was so busy drinking with everyone that I neglected you. Jong Fan, are you a little angry? How about we go on a date after work today? Angry? I have something to do this afternoon, so I can't go. Seeing my attitude of flat-out refusal, Bai Ningbing became even more insistent on making it up to me. But I had no choice but to agree. In the evening, I had just changed my clothes and was about to leave, when a message from Chin Hao suddenly came in. A fan, did you not tell your girlfriend you quit your job? She just came looking for you. She seems really angry right now. Before I could even finish reading the message, Bai Ningbing's call came through. Looking at the screen flashing with her call, a serious look flashed in my eyes. After hesitating for a moment, I pressed the answer key. Bai Ningbing's furious and exasperated voice came from the phone. Your coworker told me you quit your job to get married. I was still trying to think of an excuse, but Bai Ningbing just kept scolding me in that cold voice. I've told you, I have no plans to get married right now. That's when I realized he thought I was trying to pressure him into marriage. No wonder he was so angry. I patiently tried to explain. It was just a few jokes I made with my colleagues. They must have taken them seriously. I quit because I've been really tired lately and just wanted to rest for a bit. After hearing all that, the voice on the phone finally sounded normal again. He told me not to make those kinds of jokes again, and I quietly agreed. Then I heard Bai Ningbing ask where I was and if I wanted him to come over. I was just about to tell him the address when I suddenly heard a very faint laugh. It sounded just like Shen Haoyu, and the okay I was about to say lingered on my tongue for a moment. It turned into, no, don't worry about it, and the call was disconnected right after. Staring at the screen as it went dark, a self-mocking smile crossed my face. If he really wanted to come find me, why would he have hung up so fast? He was just going through the motions. Why did I even take him seriously? I hailed a cab and rushed to the restaurant we were supposed to meet at. After hearing my name, the waiter led me straight to the rooftop restaurant. The table was packed with food, but there was no one in sight. Seeing my confused expression, the waiter explained respectfully, Miss Bai. He called 10 minutes ago to order and said that you should go ahead and eat first. He had an urgent matter to attend to and might be a bit late. Remembering the phone call from earlier, an understanding look crossed my face. I bet his urgent matter was being with Shen Haoyu again. Not that it's really a lie, I suppose. After all, for him, as long as he's with the one he loves, even the most trivial thing becomes an urgent matter. I didn't dwell on it. I went straight into the private room, and the waiter attentively unwrapped my tableware for me. He introduced each dish one by one. Looking at the table full of seafood, I narrowed my eyes slightly. During my years in Europe, I never got used to Western cuisine. I ate seafood so often I got sick of it, and I still don't really care for it. In the past, if we were eating together and I saw these dishes, I would have just put up with it for him. But now, I have no desire to compromise myself anymore. With a wave of my hand, I told the waiter to clear away this entire table he had ordered. Mr. Bai has already paid the bill. It was very expensive. Are you sure you don't want it? If we take it all away, our policy is no refunds. I just raised an eyebrow. I took a card from my bag, handed it over and said, I know. Just clear away the current dishes first. Just use this card. Don't worry, I can afford it. Even by the time I finished eating, Bai Ningbing still hadn't appeared. I couldn't be bothered to wait any longer, so I paid the bill and went home. I was halfway home when a few messages came through. A fan, can you stay somewhere else tonight? The old house isn't tidy enough to live in, and I think a lot of things were damaged by the cold. His stomach is bothering him, so he can't be left without someone to look after him. I want him to stay here for the night, is that okay? On one hand, he has to take care of Shen Haoyu. And on the other, he's afraid Haoyu will find out about our relationship. How amusing. This time, I was in no mood to play along with Bai Ningbing. I asked her straight up, isn't he just your friend? Why do we have to hide our relationship? And how long are you planning to keep this a secret? It was a long time before I received a reply to my message. Bai Ningbing didn't offer any explanation. She only replied with a date, January 18th. Before, I wouldn't have known why she picked this specific day. But now I know. The 18th is Shen Haoyu's birthday. If Shen Haoyu kept his promise and got together with her on that day, she probably would have broken up with me without a second thought. But if Shen Haoyu didn't agree, she would settle down and propose marriage to me, testing the waters with her words. If she was rejected, she had me, her official boyfriend, to fall back on. She could just pass it off as a joke. Whether she moved forward or retreated, she had a perfect solution. I almost had to admire her for it. Unfortunately for her, I was no longer willing to be the backup plan in her love life. I didn't reply to her. I just turned off my phone. Then I checked into a hotel and had a few drinks before going to sleep. I slept until the afternoon. I wanted to check the time, but as soon as I turned my phone on, dozens of new messages popped up. Most of them were from Bai Ningbing. Few were from her best friends. Hey, where are you? Why aren't you answering your phone or replying to messages? Don't scare us like this. Bingbing has been looking for you all night like a crazy person. Looking at all these accusatory messages, I let out a cold laugh. Is turning off my phone for a night really that scary? Besides, every single one of them knew that Shen Haoyu is the one Bai Ningbing treasures most. Would she really care if I lived or died? Just as I was thinking about it, a call from Bai Ningbing came through. Her tone wasn't very pleasant. Shen Haoyu just came over to stay for one night. Do you really need to be this angry? Even if you're upset, you shouldn't vent your frustration like this. I couldn't be bothered to explain anymore, so I made an excuse. I'm not upset, my phone just died, that's all. If this were in the past, Bai Ningbing probably would have believed me. But for some reason, today, she suddenly grew suspicious and questioned me back. Then why is it that I could always reach you before? But last night, of all nights, your phone was off? Hearing her question, I was reminded of so many things from the past. One night, a few years ago, Bai Ningbing had a sudden stomachache and accidentally called me instead of her secretary. As soon as I heard, I got up immediately to bring her medicine. Last year, she went on a business trip abroad where there was a 7 or 8 hour time difference. Bai Ningbing forgot about the time on my end, and at 3 or 4 in the morning, she called to ask me about a document. I fought off my sleepiness and got up. I turned on the security cameras to help her find it. 3 months ago, I had an appendectomy. I had just gotten off the operating table, and the anesthesia hadn't even worn off yet when a message from her came in. She said she wanted bubble tea. I still asked a nurse to bring one for her. Every single one of these incidents was proof of how much I loved her. It's just a shame that no matter how much I gave, she never saw it. At that thought, a self-mocking tone uncontrollably crept into my voice. I'm just afraid I won't be there when you need me, that's all. You probably didn't need me yesterday. Hearing my ambiguous tone, Bai Ningbing was shaken to his core. We've been together for 7 years. I always went along with him, always listened to what he said. We never argued or even got upset with each other. There were many things he didn't want to explain, and I never pressed him for answers. Even when I was feeling a bit down, a little coaxing was all it took to make it better. From our daily lives to dinners and dates, I took care of him in every way. When he searched his heart, Bai Ningbing had to admit that I was an almost perfect boyfriend. Thinking of how good I had been to him in the past, his tone couldn't help but soften. I get it, I was just too worried about you just now. That's why I sounded so harsh. I'm sorry, Fan. Where are you now? I'll come and get you. I didn't want to see him right then, so I just said, no need. I hailed a cab and went back. As soon as I got home, the housekeeper told me that Bai Ningbing had just left. I didn't even have to guess. I knew he had most likely been called away by Shen Haoyu again. The lingering scent of men's cologne in the air. I didn't ask where he went. I quietly asked the housekeeper to open the windows and air out the room. For the next half a month, it was as if he'd forgotten he even had a boyfriend. Not a single phone call. Not a single message in reply. Through Shen Haoyu's social media posts, I knew exactly what he was up to, but I didn't want to question where he was going, and I didn't want to dig into what he was really thinking. For me, every day now was just a countdown. I had no energy to spare for someone I was destined to say goodbye to. There was no point in spending any more thought on it. On New Year's Eve, it started to snow. I was in a pretty good mood. I spent the whole evening watching movies in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. In the early morning hours, the boom of fireworks echoed from outside. I was getting a little tired. I lay back in the rocking chair, scrolling through my social media feed. The front door had been quiet all night, but suddenly, I heard footsteps. I pushed myself up from the chair to sit up, and there was Bai Ningbing, stumbling back completely drunk. He staggered inside, dropped a pile of bags on the sofa, and then, right in front of me, started unpacking them one by one. I just bought these 2 scarves. It's snowing so hard outside. Fan, are you cold? Fan, I bought this a few days ago. It's a Rolex, a New Year's gift for you. Do you like it? As he spoke, Bai Ningbing took the gifts in his hands and shoved them all at me. Feeling hot, I unwrapped the scarf. He started grabbing my hand and apologizing. I'm sorry, I've been so busy these past few days. I didn't have time to come back and see you. Are you mad at me again? And about last time, I shouldn't have stood you up. Fan, will you forgive me, please? Let's be good from now on, okay? As he said this, Bai Ningbing leaned in, trying to kiss me. I couldn't stand the smell of alcohol on him, and I had no idea what kind of fit he was throwing. I finally coaxed him into the bedroom. Model. After he went to sleep, I cleaned up the bags scattered all over the living room floor. Then I picked up my phone. My feed was flooded with posts from couples showing off their love. Among them, the one that caught my eye was Shen Haoyu's. He had posted a 9-photo grid. Caption was also interesting. The first snow is for meeting someone new, someone right, someone you love. Seeing that post, all my questions were answered in an instant. No wonder Bai Ningbing came home drunk all of a sudden and even tried to be nice to me. It turns out the person he likes has a new love, and really, if it weren't for that, why would he even remember an old flame like me? A hint of sarcasm flashed in my eyes. I took off the watch on my wrist and tossed it onto the table. For the next few days, Bai Ningbing was like a completely different person. He didn't go anywhere and just stayed at home, saying he wanted to keep me company. When my stomach was upset, he would obediently stay by my side and cook rice porridge for me. When I glanced at a travel ad for a few extra seconds, he started planning a trip with me after the new year. Perhaps because he was heartbroken, he treated me with even more care than before. But I wouldn't be moved by him anymore. I just quietly watched Bai Ningbing, playing the part of a perfect girlfriend, watching him run around frantically over a few words from me. I didn't feel the slightest bit of guilt. In this final stretch of time, let all his efforts be repayment for his debts from the past. Thinking this way, I felt even less of a burden on my conscience. After the snow stopped, my mother sent me pictures of several styles of suits. Asking which one I liked, I held up my phone, swiping through the pictures and zooming in on each one. I was looking at the details on the clothes, perhaps a little too intently. When Bai Ningbing tiptoed up beside me, I didn't notice him at all. Not until he snatched the phone from my hand did I turn my head. I saw his face instantly darken. A groom's suit? Why are you looking at a groom's suit? I lied without even blinking. Didn't I tell you before? A friend of mine is getting married soon. There was a problem with her wedding dress, so they're sorting out a new one. She asked me to help her choose. Seeing that my expression was normal, Bai Ningbing slowly let go of his suspicions and handed my phone back to me. He casually asked, I forgot, what day is the wedding? I'll go with you. Attend? Seeing the earnest look on his face, a very peculiar expression appeared on mine. It's on January 19th, are you sure you want to go? Hearing this date, Bai Ningbing froze for a moment. I stared at him intently, patiently waiting for his answer. There was a long silence. Finally, he forced a strained smile to placate me. We'll see when the time comes. After that incident, Bai Ningbing fell back into a state of melancholy. He spent his days in a daze, his mind heavy with worries. The wedding as my cover story, I didn't bother hiding things from him. I started packing my luggage right in front of him. I moved into this riverside apartment after graduation, and it's already been 6 years. My things have filled the rooms. I only picked out the things I had bought myself to put in the suitcase. I didn't take anything else. Anyway, once I'm back in Jingai, I'll be on my own turf. I can just buy whatever I'm missing. I'll just leave this stuff here then. Sometimes, when Bai Ningbing would snap out of his daze, he would glance through my suitcase, but after seeing what was inside, he never asked a single question. I knew that all he was waiting for now was an invitation to Shen Haoyu's birthday party. He wouldn't even notice that I had secretly thrown away many of my personal belongings. As long as those couple's items that I used to treasure were still on display. He would never suspect that when I left this time, I would never be coming back. After all, in his eyes, I loved him enough to die for him. So why would he ever suspect that I was really leaving? With an attitude of cutting ties, I packed with surprising ease. January 18th was gloomy and overcast. Looked like it was about to rain. Bai Ningbing woke up very early. He sat on the sofa, staring at his phone the whole time. I got up a little later and sat at the dining table, eating breakfast. The housekeeper looked at the sky and asked, Mr. Bai, it looks like it's going to rain. Should we leave for the airport a little earlier? Hearing this, Bai Ningbing looked up and subconsciously asked, Go to the airport for what? I have to attend a wedding tomorrow. You said you'd think about it. Have you decided now? I explained casually. I looked at Bai Ningbing quietly. He was silent for a few seconds. Finally, he said, It's too far. I'm not going. I'll take you to the airport, though. I wasn't surprised by this answer. I finished the last piece of toast, then went back to the bedroom to get my luggage. Just as Bai Ningbing fastened his seatbelt, his phone suddenly chimed. Bai Ningbing hurriedly opened the message. The next second, in his usually cold eyes, there was a joy he could no longer hide. He put down his phone, immediately unbuckled his seatbelt, and pushed open the car door. It was only after he got out of the car that he seemed to realize what he was doing. He quickly leaned down and explained to me, Zhang Fan, something suddenly came up at the company that I have to take care of. I'll have the driver take you to the airport. After all these years together, I could easily tell from the way Bai Ningbing's eyes darted around that he was lying. But I didn't expose him. I just nodded lightly. While waiting for the driver, I opened my social media feed. Sure enough, I saw a picture Shen Haoyu had shared from his birthday party. The pretty young woman was no longer by his side. It seemed they had broken up again. This also meant that, the promise Shen Haoyu made years ago, that if he wasn't married by the time he was 28, he would get together with Bai Ningbing, that promise now held a glimmer of hope for him again. No wonder he was so happy. By the time the driver arrived, Bai Ningbing had already changed into a white evening suit and was getting into the sports car parked nearby, looking sharp. He rolled down the window and waved at me. "When will you be back?" I smiled. I didn't answer. Bai Ningbing didn't seem to care. He sped off in his sports car. I sat in the passenger seat. I watched the sports car until it was out of sight before softly telling the driver, "Let's go." Light drizzle began to fall, wetting the car window. It blurred the glass, making it impossible to see anything outside clearly. I didn't want to look anymore. I closed my eyes and silently said in my heart, "Goodbye." And this time, for good. Before boarding the plane, I got a call from my father. "Ah Fan, what time will you arrive? I'll have the driver come pick you up." I wanted to get home early too, so I didn't say no. I didn't sleep well last night, so I felt a bit drowsy as soon as I got on the plane. I slept right through the 2-hour-plus flight. After landing in Jingai, I put on my hat and sunglasses. I had just walked out of the arrivals gate when someone stopped me. Hearing that clear voice call out, "Zhang Fan," I nodded, my eyes still heavy with sleep. "Uncle Gao asked me to pick you up." I squinted and glanced at Lu Rian. Figured she must be the driver, but was surprised it was such a beautiful girl. As soon as I got in the car, I leaned against the window and dozed off again. When I woke up, I saw an unfamiliar villa outside the car window, and my voice was thick with suspicion. "Where is this? This isn't my house, is it?" Seeing my reaction, Lu Rian chuckled softly. "It isn't today, but it will be tomorrow. To be precise, it's our marital home." Marital home? The realization rooted me to the spot. I was wide awake now. I took off my hat and sunglasses, and looked down at Lu Rian, right into her smiling eyes. Seeing the shock in my eyes, Lu Rian understood why. She took the initiative and held out her hand. I forgot to introduce myself. "Mr. Zhang, I'm Lu Rian." I managed an awkward smile. I quickly shook Lu Rian's hand, my voice sounding guilty. "Sorry, I wasn't fully awake just now. I got the wrong idea. I'm Zhang Fan." Lu Rian smiled, her voice incredibly cheerful. She didn't seem to mind at all. "It's okay, we'll have plenty of time to get to know each other." Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Bai Ningbing stood in front of a private room, looking down to adjust her skirt, carefully smoothing out every wrinkle. Her phone vibrated a few times. She took it out and looked. It was a message from the driver, saying that Mr. Zhang had already boarded. After hesitating, she sent a message. "Let me know when you arrive safely." After composing herself, Bai Ningbing took a deep breath and pushed open the door. Her eyes locked onto the figure in the center of the room, the one who haunted her dreams. Her heart couldn't help but beat a little faster as she quickly walked over. From a few people away, she heard a couple of guys nearby, who seemed to be teasing someone. "Haoyu, you have to show her to us today. You've hidden her for so long. What's the rush? When it's time to make a wish, I promise I'll blow you all away." Make a wish. Bai Ningbing was reminded of what happened a month ago, at her own birthday party. A look of anticipation suddenly appeared in her eyes. Could the joke from when she was 16 be coming true today? For the next few hours, Bai Ningbing couldn't stop thinking about it. She nervously took several sips of her drink. When the cake was wheeled out, her hands began to tremble slightly. A few of her close girlfriends gathered around Bai Ningbing, a knowing, gleeful look in their eyes. "Bingbing, your dream is about to come true. How are you feeling?" Bai Ningbing kept her head down, smiling without a word. Tang Yan was also enjoying the show. Suddenly, she remembered something and put a hand on Bai Ningbing's shoulder. "If that thing works out, what will Zhang Fan do?" At Shen Haoyu's birthday party, hearing Zhang Fan's name, Bai Ningbing's smile vanished in an instant, a sense of guilt rising in his heart. Seeing the look on his face, his close friends quickly started to comfort him. "It's fine, just break up with him. Break up with him right now. Besides, he's just an ordinary boy. Easy to get rid of, right? If he comes to make a scene, we'll handle it for you. Bingbing, don't you worry." Under the urging of his friends, Bai Ningbing took out his phone and typed a few words, but his finger hovered over the send button. Seeing him hesitate, his friends started to get anxious. They grabbed his hand and pressed it down. On the screen was, "Are you there?" and "Let me know when you arrive." Below it, a new message appeared. "Let's break up." The two messages were sent 3 hours apart. Calculating the time, my plane should have landed. He should see this message very soon. While Bai Ningbing was still lost in thought, his friends pulled him directly to the center of the room. Amidst a room full of people singing the birthday song, and as Bai Ningbing looked on with anticipation, Shen Haoyu put his hands together and piously made a wish. "I hope that my 28-year-old self will have the best of luck in everything, and that I can make next year's wish with Rushui." Bai Ningbing's face, which was smiling just a second ago, instantly turned deathly pale. The others in the room were also stunned. Who's Rushui? Let me introduce you. Amidst the teasing cheers, a blush appeared on Shen Haoyu's face. She's my new girlfriend. As soon as he finished speaking, the door to the private room was pushed open from the outside. A beautiful girl walked in slowly, smiling at everyone in the room. Hello everyone, I'm Shen Haoyu's girlfriend, Sha Rushui. Amid the uproar, Shen Haoyu smiled, held his new girlfriend's hand, and shared the little details of their romance with his friends. Bai Ningbing sat in a corner, drinking one glass after another with his friends. As they kept drinking, the whole group got drunk. Tang Yan staggered to her feet and walked over to Shen Haoyu. Under everyone's surprised gazes, she stood up for her good friend. Shen Haoyu, did you forget the promise you made to Bingbing all those years ago? Hearing this, a flicker of curiosity also crossed Sha Rushui's face. Promise? What promise? Shen Haoyu's expression instantly turned ugly, but Tang Yan was too drunk to care. Seeing this, the other friends quickly came over to back her up. You promised Bingbing that you'd be with him when you turned 28. We all remember. Are you going to be a heartbreaker? Sha Rushui's face, which had been smiling, slowly turned cold. She turned her head and gave Shen Haoyu a deep look. Really? How can you take a drunken joke seriously? Besides, I said that on the condition that I was single. But I have a girlfriend now, so how can it possibly count? Every single word stabbed into Bai Ningbing's heart like a knife. He clutched his chest, which was in extreme pain, and used his other hand to push himself up from the sofa. Under everyone's gaze, he began to laugh like a madman. Yes, it doesn't count. You have a girlfriend, and I have a boyfriend model. The jokes were just jokes, and after a few words, a smile returned to Sha Rushui's face. He nodded and took hold of Shen Haoyu's hand. She walked up to Bai Ningbing, wearing an expression like nothing had happened. Looks like this was all a misunderstanding. I've heard for a while now that President Bai has a boyfriend. Why didn't you bring him today? Bai Ningbing's mind went completely blank. Still, she forced a smile and met Sha Rushui's gaze. He went back to attend a wedding. He isn't free. Hearing this, Sha Rushui nodded in understanding. However, Shen Haoyu, who was standing to the side, had a quick flash of displeasure in his eyes. His tone was full of distrust. A boyfriend? Who is he? I've been back in the country for so long, how come I've never heard you mention him? Seeing Shen Haoyu's face again, Bai Ningbing was completely unable to utter a single word. Tang Yan quickly stepped forward to support her. Bai Ningbing glared at Shen Haoyu with hatred. Her voice was laced with sarcasm. Zhang Fan is Bingbing's boyfriend. The most handsome guy from that birthday party. It was him. Shen Haoyu remembered how I had smiled that night and said we were just ordinary friends. He had a feeling something wasn't right, and instinctively questioned them. But you both said you were ordinary friends that day. It's just a little spat between a young couple, that's all. Shen Haoyu, after all the relationships you've been in, you still don't understand this? That one sentence made Shen Haoyu's face flush red and then go pale with anger. He looked up at Tang Yan, completely unable to stomach the insult. It's precisely because I've seen so much that I feel the need to ask a few questions. Since you all say he's her boyfriend, how about I give him a call and ask? It'll be a good chance to get to know my new brother-in-law. At that, the faces of Bai Ningbing and her friends instantly darkened. They all simultaneously remembered the breakup message from just now. Just from the looks on their faces, Shen Haoyu was completely certain. He took out his phone, found my WeChat, and started a voice call. The women knew they were about to be exposed. They tried to rush up and snatch the phone, but Sha Rushui was fiercely protective. She blocked their way. Seeing this, Shen Haoyu decided to go all in. He turned the volume all the way up and put the call on speaker for the whole room to hear. The room fell silent instantly, leaving only the sound of the phone ringing. Bai Ningbing's hands, hidden in her sleeves, were clenched into tight fists. She prayed silently in her heart, praying that I wouldn't answer this call. Praying that I hadn't seen that message yet. During the full 1 minute of ringing, Bai Ningbing felt like her heart was about to leap out of her chest. Just as the call was about to automatically end, and just as everyone was starting to lose interest, the call was answered. Mr. Shen, is there something I can help you with? Bai Ningbing's face instantly turned ashen. In stark contrast was Shen Haoyu's face, which held an unreadable smile. Oh, it's nothing. It's just my birthday today, and I heard you're Bingbing's boyfriend. I wanted to invite you to come and hang out. The line was quiet for a few seconds. Bai Ningbing was so nervous she could barely breathe. My apologies, I'm in Jingai right now. I'm afraid I can't make it. Hearing that my tone of voice was still normal, Bai Ningbing guessed I probably hadn't seen the message yet and relaxed slightly. But I wasn't finished speaking. I let out a thoughtful, ah, my voice tinged with a slight smile. Oh, by the way, I've already broken up with Bai Ningbing. Mr. Shen, don't get the wrong idea. Shen Haoyu was a little surprised. But mostly, he was gloating. You broke up? When did that happen? Just a little while ago. Maybe about 10 minutes ago. I received her breakup message. Everyone who was gathered around watching the drama all had expressions on their faces like they wanted to laugh but didn't dare. This was especially true for Shen Haoyu. He let out a laugh. He shot a cold glance at the young ladies who had intentionally started this, and said softly, "All right. I'll be sure to pass along the message. Sorry to have bothered you, Mr. Zhang. I'll leave it to you then. And happy 28th birthday. I also hope all lovers find their happy ending." I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but when I gave my well wishes, I put extra emphasis on the words, 28 years old. It was as if I was showing everyone that I already knew the inside story. No one there dared to ask a thing. They could only watch in silence as the call was hung up. The atmosphere in the room instantly dropped to a freezing point. It was dead silent for a full 5 or 6 minutes. In the end, it was Xia Rushui who stepped up to play peacemaker, raising a glass to Bai Ningbing. That's how the awkward moment was finally smoothed over. Bai Ningbing drank the last drop of wine in her glass, and after downing it, she slammed her glass down heavily on the table. She left the birthday banquet with a few of her best friends. Just before she walked out the door, Bai Ningbing vaguely overheard a bit of conversation between Xia Rushui and someone else. "Haoyu, is that Mr. Zhang from Jingai? I hear he is." "What is it?" "Nothing. It's just the surname Zhang from Jingai. It sounds a little familiar. I'm probably just overthinking it." The moment they were out of the banquet hall, her girlfriends all crowded around her. They pulled Bai Ningbing into another private room and all started trying to comfort her at once. "Bingbing, getting married to a man like Shen Haoyu would be just great. I mean, with the number of ex-girlfriends he's had in the past 7 years, you'd need about 10 extra tables at the wedding feast just for them. If you really married a player like that, who falls for every girl he sees, there would definitely be trouble. Yeah, you should just stay with Ah Fan." Right. How is Ah Fan not better than Shen Haoyu in every way? He must have just been angry today, that's why he said all that. "Bingbing, you should go and smooth things over with him, explain everything. He likes you so much, I'm sure he'll understand." With her friends giving her a confidence boost, Bai Ningbing's gloomy mood began to lift a little. She took out her phone, found my contact, and racked her brain to come up with a message to send. She sent it, "Ah Fan, I was just playing a game with everyone and I lost. The dare for losing was to tell my boyfriend we were breaking up, and then have someone else call. To see how you'd react. Please don't take it seriously. How long have you been in Jingai? Have you checked into your hotel yet? Or are you still busy setting up the wedding venue? Are you coming back tomorrow, or the day after? I can come pick you up, okay?" A long time passed after she sent the message, but there was no reply. Bai Ningbing's eyes were glued to the screen. She was panicking inside. Her girlfriends exchanged a look, and quickly tried to find a way to distract her. "Hey, it's a wedding. He's definitely too busy to get away. Bingbing, don't overthink it. Zhang Fan will text you back when he has a free moment. If he's really mad, then worst case, we'll go with you to Jingai tomorrow to apologize in person." I was in the room helping Lu Rian try on wedding dresses when I received a message from Ning Bing. I opened the message and couldn't help but laugh out loud when I saw the first line. To think she could cook up an excuse like that on the spot, she's certainly quick-witted. Too bad I don't believe a single word she says anymore. I can just imagine it. The scene of Ning Bing being publicly rejected by Shen Haoyu, trying to save face by making excuses to me. And thinking back on that strange phone call, the real-life scene was probably even more dramatic. In that moment, I suddenly felt a pang of regret. I sighed softly, disappointed that I couldn't witness that scene with my own eyes. Lu Rian, who was adjusting the hem of her dress, heard me and looked up. "What's wrong? Does this wedding dress not look good? Then I'll have someone bring new ones over." "No need, it's just that I missed out on some good drama because of the wedding. I'm just a little disappointed, that's all." "Good drama? What drama? Is it something you can tell me about?" Although I wanted to share, I knew it wasn't appropriate to bring up my ex-girlfriend in front of my fiancé. So I decided to change the subject. It was just some friends from Shanghai celebrating a birthday. There was a silly mix-up, but it was nothing serious. Let's just focus on the wedding for now. Seeing that I didn't want to elaborate, Lu Rian didn't press the issue. She went to the living room and brought back some desserts. "Are you a little hungry? Have something to tide you over for now. After we're done here, I'll take you out to eat. Is there anything you're craving?" I was, in fact, a bit hungry. I asked Lu Rian if there was anything she wanted to eat. Jotted it all down, and then went out to make the arrangements. As I was ordering the food, I fell into deep thought. According to the information I gathered, Lu Rian is the third daughter of the Beijing Lu group. She's 2 years younger than me. She has an older sister who is 2 years her senior. Her eldest sister is 5 years older than her and is now the vice president of the Lu group. She was practically raised by this eldest sister, which is why she's so dignified and well-mannered. In recent years, the Zhang and Lu families have had frequent dealings. The Zhang family also made many inquiries and investigations before tentatively proposing the marriage alliance. According to my mother, Lu Riyan agreed after just a single glance at my photo. She seemed very satisfied with me. As for this version of events, I don't really buy it. After all, I came back to get married right after ending my last relationship. I was genuinely trying to do my part for the Zhang family. From start to finish, I never took this arranged marriage to heart, just figuring that if it worked, it worked. And if it didn't, we'd get a divorce. How could it be love at first sight, like my mother claimed? But after spending the afternoon together, even though we were still far from familiar with each other, I could tell from the little details that this fiancé of mine is a wonderful person. Needless to say, her looks are absolutely top-notch, and her temperament, from what I've seen so far, is very gentle and kind. She's also organized, meticulous, and considerate in everything she does. She has a great sense of propriety, too. All in all, I'm satisfied with this fiancé who basically fell into my lap. More than satisfied, I'm even pleasantly surprised. It seems my parents have pretty good judgment after all. After a whole night of drinking, the first thing Ning Bing did when she woke up was check her phone to see if I had replied. More than 10 hours had passed. The chat window was still empty. Ning Bing rubbed her eyes hard. He slammed his phone against the wall as if venting his anger, startling everyone. The moment they saw what he did, they all sobered up instantly. Never thought Zhang Fan would also like playing these hard-to-get games. Don't worry, Bing Bing, we'll go with you to win him back. The others also quickly gathered around to comfort her, and only then did Bai Ningbing's mood improve a little. As soon as they left the bar, the group headed straight for the airport. On the way, Bai Ningbing stared blankly at the skyscrapers in the distance. She felt a little regretful inside. If only she had known it would all be for nothing. She might as well have agreed to go to Jingai with me yesterday. As she thought about it, her heart filled with more and more disappointment, and she could only force herself to find some comfort. It's probably for the best that I didn't go. Hearing Shen Haoyu say those things, he had finally given up all hope. Over the years, she had wanted to give up countless times. Wanted to let go, but because of that promise for her 28th year, she always held on to a sliver of fantasy, especially after she got together with me. She was on the verge of a mental breakdown, not knowing how to face this boyfriend who was completely devoted to her. Now, with this difficult choice, it was time to make a final decision. She tentatively asked her best friends, "If I can't win him back today, I'm thinking of proposing marriage to see what happens. What do you guys think?" Hearing the word, marriage, her friend's eyes widened. Marry Zhang Fan? With his family background, your parents wouldn't agree, would they? He's a good guy, handsome and good-tempered, but I think he's fine for dating. When it comes to actually getting married, he's not quite good enough for you. Although they were all pouring cold water on the idea, Bai Ningbing didn't listen at all. She leaned back in her seat, her mind replaying every little moment from her past with me. After her 25th birthday, every few months, I would bring up marriage, both directly and indirectly, to test the waters with him. He knew what I was thinking and that my family was pressuring me. But for his own selfish reasons, he still pretended not to understand. Now, neither of us are young anymore, and I'm still deeply in love with him. He doesn't want to miss his chance with me either. Although the road to marriage is full of difficulties, he's willing to give it a try. At this point, Bai Ningbing finally made up her mind to propose in Jingai. She sent a message to her assistant, telling him to win the auction for that pair of wedding rings that caused a stir online some time ago. Just before boarding the plane, her assistant replied, that pair of rings was bought at the sky-high price of 900 million. Bai Ningbing was a bit surprised. Just a pair of wedding rings, sold for such a high price. Bai Ningbing asked for the buyer's name. The assistant replied with the character, Lu, the Lu family of Jingai. Thinking of this well-known surname in their circle, Bai Ningbing was a bit speechless, but she had some connections with the second young lady of the Lu family. So she made a call to ask, "Oh, that pair of wedding rings? I was the one who bought them. My younger sister is getting married today. I bought them as a wedding gift for the newlyweds." Bing Bing, you asked too late. Miss Lu is also getting married today? How did all the happy events end up on the same day? A flash of surprise appeared in his eyes, but he still chose his words carefully. He thanked me very politely. I must have had too much to drink and forgot to take a picture. You're too kind, second miss. Since the third miss is getting married, I'd appreciate it if you could pass on my congratulations. I wonder which young master is so fortunate. My sister is marrying into the Zhang family. It's a perfect match in terms of social standing. Truly perfect match. As soon as he heard the name, Zhang family, Bai Ningbing remembered that I, Zhang Fan, am also named Zhang. Could he be attending the wedding between the Lu and Zhang families? Does Zhang Fan have any relatives or friends among the Zhang clan of Jingai? Many strange thoughts started popping into Bai Ningbing's mind, but as soon as he got out of the car, the cold winter wind blew them completely away. He shook his head and raised a hand to press the bridge of his nose. He pushed all those messy thoughts to the back of his mind. He was just a boy from a small, ordinary town. How could he possibly be connected to the Zhang family? After the plane landed at the capital airport, Ningbing gave me a call. It seemed I still hadn't cooled down. There were noisy crowds around me, and my attitude wasn't the best. My ex-girlfriend, calling me out of the blue. What's up? As soon as he heard the words, ex-girlfriend, Bai Ningbing immediately thought of what happened yesterday, and his blood pressure shot up. But he knew this wasn't the time to throw a tantrum, so he had to suppress his anger. He explained patiently, offhand, about that breakup line from yesterday. It was honestly just a joke. Can't you believe me? Is that so? I don't care if it was a joke. I only trust what I saw with my own eyes. You don't need to explain. I'm very busy right now. I don't have time to chit-chat with you. After saying that, I didn't wait to hear his reaction. I just hung up the phone. Bai Ningbing was so furious at my attitude that his face turned grim. Don't fight over the phone. When you see him later, just soften up a bit. He'll come around in no time. His close friends took turns persuading him. Only then did Bai Ningbing's expression soften. Let's go to Tingchen Villa. After the words, Tingchen Villa, left his lips, everyone realized something was wrong. They all looked at each other in confusion. Isn't that place a famous residential area for the rich in Jingai? The people who live there are all big shots who can shake up entire circles with a single cough. Friend of Zhang Fan's is holding their wedding reception there? Bai Ningbing's heart began to race as well. Before he got on the plane, those thoughts started to seep back into his mind. Could it be that Zhang Fan is actually a distant relative of the Zhang family? The wedding was about to begin at 10:30. The guests were taking their seats one by one. I stood on the top floor balcony. This wedding was planned single-handedly by Lu Rian, and the decorations were incredibly meticulous. It was only then that I realized what my mother had said wasn't a lie. In fact, she had even been rather modest about it. A marriage alliance between the Zhang and Lu families. Logically, every prominent family in our circle should be here. But even at the highest estimate, there would be 700 or 800 tables at most. Why would they need such a massive venue for that? Though the sun was out, it was still winter, after all. There was still a chill in the air outdoors. For the comfort of the guests, countless air conditioners had been specially placed everywhere, and flower stands were decorated with fresh flowers flown in from Europe. The wedding favors being given out at the reception were concentric locks made of solid gold. Every guest received one. The sheer extravagance and ostentation of it all made even me, who grew up abroad, wince at the cost. I smoothed down the hair on my forehead that had been ruffled by the wind. Just as I was about to get emotional, Lu Rian walked over. It's cold outside, you should come in. I nodded. I followed her into the room, and Lu Rian handed me a cup of hot coffee. Someone just called and said they've arrived in Jingai, asking where the wedding venue is. Is it a friend of yours? Do you need us to send someone to the entrance to pick them up? What friend? I quickly grabbed my phone to check my call history. When I saw the name Tang Yan, the expression on my face instantly turned a bit strange. A call from Tang Yan. She's arrived in Jingai, huh? A cryptic smile formed on my lips. No need to pick them up. They'll get in by themselves. By the way, there are too many people here. I see a lot of cameras secretly filming from the nearby hills. We should send people to tighten security, just in case something happens. Lu Rian didn't overthink it. She agreed. Before leaving, she placed the wedding rings in my hand. Watching Lu Rian leave the room, I finally dared to let out the smile I had been holding back for so long. Bai Ningbing came to my wedding. I can't imagine how priceless her expression will be when she sees me standing on the stage. I raised the ring box in my hand and opened it. When I saw the matching rings inside, I was slightly stunned. These rings, I had seen them in a magazine 2 months ago and even shared it with Ningbing. Back then, I was still imagining the moment I would get down on one knee to propose to her. Who would have thought that just half a month later, I would find out about her and Shen Haoyu? The wedding and the rings I had long hoped for. I have them all now. As for the bride, it's for the best that she was replaced. To this day, I no longer feel any nostalgia for anything that happened in the past 7 years. All that's left is relief. The wedding began promptly at 11 o'clock. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Father Lu took his daughter's hand and slowly walked into the venue, bringing her to my side. After completing the initial ceremony step by step, it was soon time to exchange the rings. Lu Rian picked up the wedding ring and was about to put it on me when a sudden commotion came from offstage. I followed the sound and saw Bai Ningbing at a glance. She was like a madwoman, pushing aside the people blocking her. Her eyes were fixed on the stage, and a few of her best friends were charging forward with her. still shouting my name. This sudden development captured the attention of all the guests. Everyone's eyes darted back and forth between the stage and the audience. Facing the malicious gazes from all around, I remained very calm. I turned my head to look at Lu Rian and saw she was full of anger and confusion. I quickly whispered to Lu Rian to explain, "I'm sorry, they're my friends from Shanghai. Could we pause the ceremony for a moment? Give me a few minutes to go and calm them down." Lu Rian hesitated before nodding. I waved my hand to stop all the staff. The security guards had already subdued the troublemakers and were about to drag them out. It was only when they saw me raise my hand to signal that they stopped. From beginning to end, Bai Ningbing's gaze was locked firmly on me, never leaving for a second. Seeing me in my groom's suit, standing before her with a calm and carefree expression, she could no longer control her temper. "You said you were coming to a friend's wedding. Is that friend yourself?" I almost couldn't help but laugh. Generally speaking, does the phrase, "I have a friend," always refer to the person themselves? Bai Ningbing was on the verge of laughing from anger at those two sentences. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, a furious rage burned in them. "Is this your reason for getting married behind my back? What do you mean, behind your back?" The marriage between the Zhang and Lu families has been all over the internet for over a month. Bai Ningbing, do you not go online? The names Zhang and Lu seemed to make Bai Ningbing remember something. He suddenly whipped his head around to look at the bride beside him. Lu Rian. Her face was about 50% similar to his second sister, Lu Yansheng. Bai Ningbing recognized her in a single glance. His pupils suddenly widened, the skin at the corner of his mouth trembled slightly. His entire being screamed, utter disbelief. Lu Rian's husband is Zhang Fan. Then who is Zhang Fan? Behind him, Tang Yan and the others also realized this problem. With faces full of shock, they exclaimed, "Zhang Fan, you're from the Zhang family of Beijing?" I watched them quietly and, very patiently, began to introduce myself. To be precise, I am the next heir of the Zhang family of Beijing, the only son of Zhang Shuming and Ms. Yi Xiang, Rian's fiancé. Do you all have any other questions about my identity? This long string of titles silenced all 6 of them. In Shanghai, these young masters and ladies could indeed call the shots. But this is Beijing, the nation's capital. Their family backgrounds were simply nothing in front of the Zhang and Lu families. After an unknown period of silence, Bai Ningbing finally spoke in a hoarse voice, asking a question that was very important to him. "Why did you never say anything before? Didn't you also hide a lot from me? For example, the promise about when you turned 28. Just 2 sentences were enough to make Bai Ningbing's face turn deathly pale. He began to struggle, anxiously trying to explain. "I can explain this, Avan, it's true I never forgot Shen Haoyu. But in these 7 years..." He got halfway through his sentence when Lu Rian, who had been watching quietly from the side, cut him off. She said to the security guards, "Take them away." Lu Rian took my hand and discussed with me gently, "Now is not the right time to handle this. Avan, after the wedding is over, we can invite your friends for a private meal. Don't keep the guests waiting." I hadn't expected Lu Rian to, at such a crucial moment, make such a decisive choice. Although I nodded in agreement, I still had many questions in my heart, but now was not the right time to get answers. Lu Rian took my arm, and together we returned to the center of the stage. The cheerful piano music started up once more. Amidst the congratulations of the entire hall, the couple completed the ring exchange ceremony. The moment the bouquet was tossed, many flower petals, feathers, and ribbons drifted down from the sky. The dazzling midday sun shone on Lu Rian, illuminating her exquisite and beautiful face. I turned around, no longer looking back, and strode towards the future and tomorrow. After this grand wedding was over, I was a bit tired. Thinking back on the events of the day, I felt that now was the time to have a good, honest talk with Lu Rian. "Regarding what happened today, is there anything you want to ask me?" Lu Rian, who was wiping her face, paused and looked at me intently. "If you want to tell me, then I have questions to ask. But if you don't want to, then I have nothing to ask." Her compromising and gentle attitude took me by surprise. For the first time, I felt like I had married a truly extraordinary person. "Aren't you curious about what my relationship with them really is? Aren't you worried about the drama behind everything that happened today?" Lu Rian sat down on a nearby armchair, her eyes filled with composure. "I'm curious, and I'm worried. But none of that is important. What's important is you. Our wedding was completed successfully. You are my husband now, and we will walk hand in hand through all of our tomorrows. As for the past, if you're willing to share, I would be happy to listen. But if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. It's all in the past now. Why dwell on things that can't be changed?" In that moment, I truly felt the difference between people. It also completely changed my perception of Lu Rian. Her words moved me, and I no longer wanted to hide anything. So I decided to just come clean. That group of people at the wedding. That was my ex-girlfriend and a few of her best friends. We were together for 7 years. I had originally planned to marry her, but she was in love with someone else the whole time. When I found out, I decided to break up with her. When I returned to Jingai, my parents were constantly pressuring me to get married, so I just went along with it. I officially broke up with her yesterday. She didn't know I was from the Zhang family. That's why she came to the wedding and made such a scene. As she listened, a very subtle expression appeared on Lu Rian's face. You broke up yesterday, and got married today? Isn't that a bit hasty? Maybe it is a little hasty, but you and I are just in a marriage of convenience. As long as we maintain the appearance of a stable married couple to the public, that's all that matters, right? I said this with a matter-of-fact look on my face. Seeing this, the corners of Lu Rian's mouth turned up slightly. So you don't care what kind of person your marriage partner is? Not really, I just want to inherit the Zhang group as soon as possible. Lu Rian's heart skipped a beat. She stared at me for a long time before giving a small, gentle nod. As Ning Bing was dragged several hundred meters by security, she felt a humiliation she had never known in her entire life. Her friends didn't fare much better. They were all thrown out at the entrance of the resort. Facing dozens of guards telling them to leave, they were furious but didn't dare say a word. And at the bottom of the steps were hundreds of reporters shouldering their cameras, all frustrated about not being able to film the wedding of the century. A few of the more observant reporters recognized Ning Bing at a glance and rushed forward, shouting for an interview. Miss Ning, were you also invited to the wedding of the third Miss Lu and Mr. Zhang? You don't look so good right now, excuse me, but did something happen in there? With one person leading the charge, a whole swarm of reporters surged forward to take photos and ask questions. Ning Bing was already in a foul mood, and now she was being photographed in such a disheveled state. She flew into a rage, shoving aside the people in front of her. She knocked over several cameras before storming off with her friends. That evening, the story of Ning Bing assaulting reporters made the entertainment news headlines. The reputation of the Bai group plummeted overnight. The negative press was endless, and even our own money couldn't stop it. When Shen Haoyu called, Bai Ningbing had locked himself in his hotel room. He was reeking of alcohol. Hey, Bingbing, I saw in the news. The person marrying into the Lu family is Zhang Fan. He's from the Zhang family. So what if he is? After getting an affirmative answer, there was a hint of excitement in Shen Haoyu's voice. Rushui just told me about the project the four families, Bai, Zhang, Lu, and Shen, are jointly planning. The proposal is already drafted. I heard that the final say on this project's implementation lies with the people in Jingai, since you were in a relationship with him for so many years. Is there any way you can ask him for a favor and get this project into our hands? Although Bai Ningbing's mind was fuzzy, he still had one last shred of sanity. He let out a cold laugh, his tone filled with despair. Ask him for help? He's already married Lu Rian. So what, weren't you two together for 7 years? Even if you've broken up, he must still have some lingering feelings for you, right? Just go and try. Uncle Bai just called me asking where you were. He sounded furious. If you can secure this project, the old man will calm down and won't hold what happened today against you. Right? After hearing this persuasion, Bai Ningbing's resolve weakened a little. But he didn't dare overpromise, so he just gave a vague answer and hung up the phone. He struggled to his feet and went to the bathroom to splash water on his face. His head cleared up quite a bit. A few minutes later, Tang Yan knocked and came in. She also pulled him over to start discussing the project. Bai Ningbing leaned back on the sofa, gazing coldly out the window, his mind in a state of turmoil. This project was a huge prize. Several factions from Jingai, Heshang, Hong Kong, and Macau were all fighting for it. The four great families of Heshang teamed up precisely to secure it. And according to the intelligence we gathered, the person in charge of this project will almost certainly be Zhang Ziao, my paternal aunt. If he could use me to get in touch with her, it would indeed make things much easier. After pondering for a long while, Bai Ningbing decided to give it a try. Not just for the project, but also for his own selfish reasons. He still wanted to find a chance to see me again. The day after the wedding, after getting our marriage certificate, I went straight to the Zhang Corporation headquarters to take on the role of vice president. To help me adapt as quickly as possible, my father assigned several of the secretaries and assistants he personally trained to me. I spent the entire day reading documents and reports, and finally got a general idea of the corporation's internal situation. By the time I snapped out of it, I realized it was already dark outside. It was already 8 p.m. My office was the only one in the entire building with its lights still on. What are you doing here? Lu Rian smiled softly. Her tone carried a hint of helplessness. Today is the second day of our marriage. Technically, I should still be on my marriage leave. It was only then that I remembered coming out of the Civil Affairs Bureau this morning and the subtle expression on Lu Rian's face after I said I was going to the office. I finally understood what that look meant. I explained, a bit embarrassed. It's my first time getting married, so I don't have much experience. I forgot about these things. But as for marriage leave, honeymoons, and all that, that's something a normal couple would be concerned with. Ours is just a marriage of convenience. We don't need to celebrate it, do we? A flicker of disappointment, almost invisible, crossed Lu Rian's eyes. But she quickly composed herself, pulled open the passenger door, and got in. If you're busy, it's fine if we don't celebrate. But since we are married, after all, I'd like to ask such a busy man to have dinner with me. Vice President Zhang should agree to that, right? There was a hint of teasing in her voice. Hearing that, I couldn't help but crack a smile and readily agreed. We got in the car. This dinner was at a very famous Western restaurant. It was the dinner rush, and we were a little late. All the private rooms were full, and I was hungry. I couldn't be bothered to go elsewhere, so after getting Lu Rian's approval, we took a corner table by the window. After we got the menu, Lu Rian handed it directly to me and began to introduce a few of the restaurant's signature dishes. On her recommendation, I ordered 4 or 5 dishes that I liked. Then I handed the menu back to her, but Lu Rian didn't order anything more. Are you sure you don't want to order a few more dishes? My tastes can be a bit peculiar. You might not be used to them. She smiled and shook her head. Her eyes glimmered as she looked at me. Since we're husband and wife, we'll be eating at the same table every day. The things you like, you should of course try them more often and gradually get used to them. We're married, it's not like you sold yourself to me. You still have the right to choose the food you like when we eat. You don't need to overthink it so much. If you have something to say, you can just say it directly. We can talk things over. Can we talk about anything? In that case, can we discuss not canceling the honeymoon? Seeing the earnest look on her face, I thought she was going to ask for something else, but what she blurted out was about the honeymoon. I was a little surprised. Do you really want to go on a honeymoon? I've been so busy with the wedding for so long. I'd like to get some proper rest. And besides, the elders from both our families are hoping we'll get closer quickly. I feel a honeymoon is a very good opportunity for that. What do you think? Listening to her exceptionally sincere tone, all the excuses I had prepared got stuck in my throat. To be fair, Lu Rian is a very good wife. She respects my opinion on everything. For me, the honeymoon isn't really that important. I didn't want to hurt her heart over something so trivial, so I agreed. After getting a positive response, the smile on Lu Rian's face grew even more radiant. Then I'll wait for you to finish up your work. When you have time, I'll make the arrangements. Bai Ningbing waited downstairs at the Zhang Group building for an entire day just to see me. She followed me to the restaurant, hoping to find a chance to see me alone. But for the whole evening, I didn't leave my seat, talking and laughing with Lu Rian. The scene of us putting food on each other's plates stung her deeply. The food had been on the table for 2 hours, and she hadn't taken a single bite. Her gaze was fixed on my warm, smiling face. When I finally got up to go to the restroom, Bai Ningbing hurriedly followed me out. She stopped me in the corridor. "A fan, why did you agree to marry Lu Rian?" I turned my head, a flash of surprise in my eyes. "If I remember correctly, we've already broken up, haven't we? What does my getting married have to do with you?" My tone was dismissive. It made Bai Ningbing feel he was being slighted, and a surge of anger rose in his heart. "Zhang Lu, the marriage between our two families was arranged over a month ago. We hadn't even broken up then, and you'd already lined up your next option." I crossed my arms and glanced at him. My tone was faint. A month ago, I had already planned to return to Jingai to get married. But what's there for you to be angry about? You were able to, from 7 years ago, plot to break up on Shen Haoyu's 28th birthday. Is it wrong for me to plan my own way out a month in advance? My words left Bai Ningbing speechless. He clenched his fists, forcing down the surge of bitterness and regret welling up in his chest. He still tried to defend himself. My situation with him isn't what you think. I know he doesn't like me. It's just that we've known each other for so many years. And there was that promise, so it became an obsession in my heart. I did think about building a good life with you. On the way to Jingai, I was even ready to propose to you. I had already picked out the wedding ring. Afan, can't you believe me just this once? It was only after he completely rejected me that you remembered me, your backup plan, right? Too bad, I'm already married. Bai Ningbing, you should just go and propose to Shen Haoyu. Maybe he'll say yes. My tone was filled with undisguised mockery, and hearing it made Bai Ningbing even more pained. He took a step forward to grab my hand, but I dodged him. I never liked him. I was foolish before. I didn't see him for who he really was. It wasn't until after that birthday banquet that I finally understood. In these past 7 years, I've gotten used to having you by my side. I really did want to marry you. I used to think that even though he was too timing, he still had a shred of sincerity. Now, after hearing everything he said, I actually feel a bit disgusted. You hate that Shen Haoyu won't accept you, and you hate that he treats you like a backup plan. You feel that by waiting for Shen Haoyu for 7 years, your deep love for him is a testament for the ages? You've probably moved yourself to tears. But while you're hating him, have you ever considered that you're essentially no different from Shen Haoyu? He won't say yes, he strings you along, and you can't stand it. So you string me along. You two are just two of a kind. Why bother putting on this act for me about misjudging his character and regretting the past? In an instant, all the color drained from Bai Ningbing's face, leaving it completely pale. I couldn't care less how he felt at that moment, nor did I want to get any more tangled up with him. I turned to walk towards the main hall. As we brushed past each other, Bai Ningbing couldn't control himself and grabbed my arm. My patience had reached its limit. I yanked my arm away. During the struggle, the old, dilapidated chandelier overhead groaned and came crashing down. It plunged straight toward my head. In that instant of danger, Bai Ningbing subconsciously pushed me aside. With a loud thud, the iron fixture, weighing dozens of pounds, smashed onto his shoulder. Having been pushed several meters away, I happened to run into Lu Rian, who was rushing over. He couldn't help but look back, and his eyes immediately fell on Bai Ningbing collapsed on the floor. He doubled over in pain, his left hand clutching his right shoulder tightly. His entire face was flushed bright red from the pain. The waiters who heard the commotion rushed over to check on Bai Ningbing's injuries. Lu Rian also frowned, asking if I was hurt. He only breathed a sigh of relief after confirming I was safe. He helped me leave that troublesome place. Watching the two of them walk away, hand in hand, Bai Ningbing, who lay on the floor, bit his lip hard, trying not to make any sound. But he couldn't stop the sob caught in his throat. He closed his eyes in despair. A montage of memories flashed through his mind, every single one of them involving me. When his stomach problems acted up, I would stay by his side around the clock. I contacted many doctors and constantly monitored his condition. When he hit the wall and bruised his arm, I would immediately boil an egg to gently rub on it. When he had insomnia at night, I would fight off my sleepiness to listen to soft music with him and make him sleep aid soup. In the past, I was attentive to every single thing that had to do with him. Now, he had gotten hurt like this to save me, yet I didn't react at all. I just blatantly left with someone else. It wasn't until this moment that Bai Ningbing was finally certain that the current me was not the me he used to know. I no longer saw him as my one and only, and I didn't love him anymore. My mood only started to calm down after I got home. I lay on the couch drinking hot tea, replaying what had just happened in my mind. I was still a bit shaken. I was just about to vent to Lu Rian for a bit. But when I turned my head, I saw him kneeling with the first aid kit. "I'm not hurt. Why did you bring the first aid kit over?" Lu Rian didn't answer. He just gently pointed at my ankle. "Here." I followed his gaze down. Only then did I realize a small piece of skin on my heel had been scraped by a shard of glass. Lu Rian picked up a cotton swab and dipped it in some alcohol. "This might sting a little. This was such a minor cut, I normally wouldn't even think twice about it." So, seeing Lu Rian look so concerned made me feel a bit embarrassed. "It's fine not to treat a small cut like this. You don't have to worry so much." Even though I said that, the moment the alcohol touched the wound, I still hissed in a sharp breath. After he disinfected it, Lu Rian took a bandage to cover the wound. "I'll have someone send over some waterproof dressings later. Remember to use them when you shower for the next couple of days. Be careful, don't let the wound get wet. If you go out, just wear slippers." I left home when I was young to live with my aunt. After coming back, there were 4 years of university, and a 6-year relationship, all spent on my own in a different city. This was the very first time I had met someone who, for such a tiny scratch on me, would make such a big fuss. Amid my surprise, I also wanted to lighten the mood, so I made a little joke. "There's no need to go to all that trouble. By the time your things get here, the wound might have already healed." Lu Rian raised his eyes. He stared at me, his face showing a seriousness I had never seen before. "The reason you got hurt today was because of my carelessness. I am to blame. Any wound, no matter how small, is going to hurt. After you've had such a big scare, I don't want you to be physically uncomfortable as well, model. That's why I might sound a bit naggy, but it never hurts to be more careful. Just listen to me this once." I don't know if it was because his tone was so sincere, or because of the flicker of self-blame in his eyes, but something tugged at my heartstrings. It wouldn't stop fluttering. I didn't dare to look him in the eye. I lowered my gaze and gave a slight nod. After Lu Rian left with the first aid kit, I got a call from Tang Yan. "Wow, are you really that heartless? Bingbing got so badly hurt trying to save you, and you're not even going to come see him?" Listening to this baseless accusation, I wasn't about to let him drag my name through the mud like that. I sneered, if he hadn't been pestering me and refused to let go. The chandelier never would have fallen on me. He only got hurt because he brought it on himself. How can you blame that on me? No matter what happened, he still pushed you out of the way when it mattered. Don't you have any feelings left for him at all? I almost had to admire his ability to be so shameless and twist the facts. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him anymore. Then, I glanced down and saw the bandage on my leg. I just came up with a lie. I'd love to go see him. My leg is injured too, so I can't get out right now. The line was silent for over 10 seconds, then he cleared his throat. His tone softened. If you can't make it, fine, but you still owe him a favor. I hear the launch dinner for the Yundao project is in a month. Have your secretary send over a few invitations, and we'll call it even. So that was his real angle. I couldn't help but chuckle. I casually agreed. After hanging up, I sent a few messages to my aunt, asking about the specifics of the project. Then I asked her to send some invitations over tomorrow. For the next few days, no matter what I was doing, Lu Rian was always with me. At first, I tried to convince him to go take care of his own business, but he'd always use our marriage as an excuse to shut me down. Gradually, I realized that whenever Lu Rian was around, no matter what problem I ran into at work, he always had some advice to offer. I got used to having him around, and by spending so much time together, we quickly grew close. When I had to work late at night, Lu Rian would sit beside me with his laptop, quietly working on his own things. If he had to go out for something, he would always let me know beforehand. On my days off, he would take me out on dates, showing me all sorts of new and interesting places. And fun little things. Half a month later, during the spring festival, our two families decided to get together for a reunion dinner and to welcome the new year. With more than a dozen of us from both families, we all sat together, chatting away happily. Sooner or later, the conversation always turned to the newlyweds. My mother, looking pleased, watched me and Lu Rian sitting next to her. Afan is just as stubborn as his aunt. After he graduated, I told him to come back to Jingai. But he refused. He insisted on making it on his own out there. I just don't know what to do with him sometimes. Rian, if he does anything wrong, please be patient with him. With my mother complaining about me in front of everyone, I was getting a little annoyed and was just about to defend myself. When Lu Rian placed a freshly peeled orange in my hand and said with a smile, "Mom, you're being too harsh. Afan isn't stubborn at all. I think he's very independent and has his own mind. In the future, together with his aunt, he'll surely be able to carry the weight of the Zhang family. When that time comes, I'll have to learn a lot from him. I can't be the one holding him back." After he spoke, the Lu family also chimed in with praise, making Mother Zhang grin from ear to ear. Her tone was full of joy. "As long as you two get along, we elders are happy. If you could have a child soon, we'd be even happier." When the other elders heard this, they also started teasing us. The tips of my ears turned incredibly red. Rian noticed the expression on my face change and quickly made an excuse to pull me out to the garden. Once the cold winter wind hit my face, my complexion slowly returned to normal. A faint smile played on Lu Rian's lips as she deliberately changed the subject. "Are you also going to that banquet tomorrow? You should go. I was the one who sent out Bai Ningbing's invitation. I have to go keep an eye on him, and to see what he's really up to. So, are there any extra invitations? Get me one, too." Upon hearing that, I looked up at her in surprise. This project is decent enough. But haven't you and your sister been busy with the Yuanshuan situation? You still want to come at such a critical time? Just scouting things out. She knew I was joking. She blinked her eyes rapidly and replied, "Of course I'm not interested in the project. It's just that there's nothing to do over the holidays, so I figured I'd go hang out with you." I nodded in understanding, remembering I only had one invitation left on hand. So I pulled her downstairs to find my aunt. The project's banquet was scheduled at the largest hotel in Jingai. At 7 p.m., the person in charge of the project walked slowly onto the stage and announced the official start of the banquet. The Zhang family's car got stuck in traffic, arriving half an hour late. The moment we pushed the door open, my aunt was swarmed by a group of opportunists who had heard she was coming and were waiting by the door. Seeing so many people, I had no desire to wade into those muddy waters. I grabbed Lu Rian, dodged the crowd, and went in. The two of us weren't there for the project to begin with. So we took a leisurely stroll, weaving our way through the grand hall. Sampling the food and red wine, standing on the second floor, Bai Ningbing held a glass of champagne. Leaning against the railing, when his eyes landed right on me, whispering intimately with Lu Rian. For the past month, he had done a lot of thinking. He had already given up on me. He's from the Zhang family, and he married Lu Rian. Neither of their families was one he could afford to offend, so he kept telling himself to let go of the past and face reality. But after working on his mindset for so long, to then see the two of us appear right in front of him, acting so intimately, he still couldn't suppress the resentment in his heart. His expression darkened instantly. Beside him, Shen Haoyu followed his line of sight and, upon seeing me, his eyes also lit up for a second before he grabbed Sha Rushui and headed downstairs. Seeing this, Tang Yan pulled Bai Ningbing along and followed. The four of them made their way through the crowd and came up to me. "Third miss, long time no see. I heard you just got married the other day. Congratulations on your wedding." "Thanks." As soon as that single word left my mouth, the atmosphere turned cold again. Sha Rushui found it hard to speak again, so she signaled to Shen Haoyu. With a signal, Shen Haoyu hurried forward and waved at me. "Brother Avon, do you remember me? We met once, over 2 months ago. Mr. Shen, long time no see." Hearing my voice, Bai Ningbing finally looked up, just in time to meet my cold, sweeping gaze. "Avon, long time no see. I heard you were injured that day. Are you better now? Thanks to you, I've recovered quite well." My meaningful tone made Bai Ningbing's heart tremble, and a guilty look appeared on her face. She couldn't help but want to explain, but before she could speak, she was interrupted by Lu Rian. "Avon and I came with his aunt to attend the banquet. I didn't expect to run into you here, Rushui. During the new year, you've all flown thousands of miles to Jingai. Is there a reason for your visit?" Hearing this, Tang Yan quickly nudged Sha Rushui's hand, signaling her to seize the opportunity. "Our families are also quite interested in this Yundao project, so we thought we'd come check it out. We heard Avon's aunt is the one in charge. I was wondering, could you, for the sake of our past friendship, help introduce us?" Lu Rian didn't answer her immediately, but instead looked up at me, as if asking for my opinion. After we exchanged a look, I said, "My aunt and I would like to help. But as you can see, my aunt is too busy to get away right now. I'm afraid it's not convenient." The three of them exchanged a glance. Understanding this was a rejection, not wanting to cause any trouble, they made a bit more small talk and then took their leave. Only Bai Ningbing remained where she was, staring at me, looking like she wanted to say something but couldn't. Didn't want to deal with her, so I grabbed Lu Rian and walked away. But she followed behind us as if she were in a trance, from the main hall to the second floor, and then on to the garden. Seeing that we were alone, Lu Rian spoke. "Miss Bai, you've been following us. Is there something you'd like to say?" Bai Ningbing finally realized how inappropriate her actions were and quickly apologized. "I'm so sorry, I've had a bit too much to drink. I'm a little confused, I can't seem to find my way." Hearing this lame excuse, Lu Rian let out a small laugh. But her tone was incredibly cold. "It's one thing to be confused for a moment, but you mustn't stay confused forever. Avon might be sentimental about old times, but I have no connection whatsoever with the Bai family, so there's no such thing as old times between us." The overt threat in her words made Bai Ningbing's heart sink. She knew that with the Lu family's power, all Lu Rian had to do was say the word, and the Bai family could disappear from Shanghai overnight. Bai Ningbing didn't dare risk her family to fight her for him. She could only grit her teeth, swallow her pride, and turn back to the main hall. "Mr. Zhang, your nephew is a friend of ours. If not for our sake, then at least for his. Can't you just accept this toast from us?" Although I didn't know what was happening inside, as soon as I heard that sentence, I knew something was wrong. I quickly rushed in, just as I made my way through the crowd to the center of the hall. Before the words, "Mr. Zhang, I'm sorry," could even leave my mouth, I saw my aunt pick up the phone and call security. At that very moment, the entire hall fell silent. The other guests all looked on, enjoying the show, staring at the four people whose faces had gone pale. Today is the project launch dinner for Yundao. This isn't some backdoor shortcut. Since you've all received invitations, please listen carefully to the presentation that is about to begin. Don't be like these few who tried to take a crooked path, or you'll be thrown out of the banquet. So don't say I didn't warn you." As 12 security guards were escorting the four people away, I happened to be returning with Lu Rian. The two of us stood at the entrance, watching for a long time. Then we looked at each other and saw the amusement in each other's eyes. The host's voice came from the hall. "It looks like the presentation is about to start. The troublemakers have been kicked out, so I don't want to stay here either." I tugged her hand and said I wanted to go home. Lu Rian always indulges me. After sending a message to my aunt, she drove us away. For the past few days, the two of us have been staying at the old residence. The house staff had all gone home for the holidays, so the house was completely empty. The two of us snuggled on the sofa and watched a movie. As it got close to midnight, I suddenly got a craving for sweet rice balls. It was a holiday, and late at night, all the nearby shops had stopped delivering. I stared at the words, "Delivery unavailable," on my phone, and let out a deep sigh. Seeing the disappointed look on my face, a gentle smile appeared on Lu Rian's face. She got up and went into the kitchen. She pulled a bag of glutinous rice flour out of the cupboard. When I saw what she was doing, I went over curiously, my eyes filled with surprise. "You know how to make sweet rice balls?" Lu Rian saw me fiddling with the glutinous rice flour, and knowing I wanted to try too, she took out 2 aprons. She put one on me. Well, let's find a tutorial and learn. It should be pretty simple, right? I thought what she said made a lot of sense. I quickly opened my phone, and the two of us followed a tutorial for over an hour. We finally managed to knead a few sweet rice balls of different sizes and various shapes. After the water boiled, I was about to put the rice balls in, but Lu Rian was afraid I'd burn myself. She quickly took the plate from me and told me to go get 2 bowls. We didn't have any fermented rice at home, so she added some brown sugar for flavor. By the time the 2 bowls of sweet rice balls were served, it was already past 12 o'clock. I used my spoon to save the biggest rice ball in the bowl. I boasted playfully to Lu Rian, "The biggest one is mine. Looks like I'm going to have good luck this year." Lu Rian looked at me with a smile. I took a bite, and the smug look on my face froze for a few seconds. Before I went back to normal. "Does it not taste good?" My eyes darted around for a moment, then I nodded my head frantically. Then I held out my spoon to her, coaxing, "It's super delicious. Do you want to try it?" Lu Rian only needed one glance to know that the plum-sized rice ball I had kneaded wasn't fully cooked, but she didn't hesitate for a second. She lowered her head and ate the remaining half. Seeing that she took the bait, I could barely contain the mischievous grin at the corner of my lips. I quickly raised my hand to cover my face. "It's good, right?" But a look of amazement appeared on her face. She gave me a thumbs up. "Delicious. It's so sweet and chewy, just how I like it." As she said this, his eyes lit up, so I couldn't tell if what he was saying was true or false. But I still trusted my own taste buds and immediately put down the spoon. With one hand, I lifted his chin, trying to pry open his mouth to see. Lu Rian immediately swallowed what was in his mouth, so by the time I struggled to pry it open, I saw nothing, and a look of disappointment immediately appeared on my face. It was clearly raw. "You lied to me, didn't you?" While the two of them were messing around, they rolled off the sofa and landed on the carpet together.